Alright, so updated build. Elites are pretty decent at a few things, and boss is pretty overrated. So I decided to start off with this clip to show that, wow, look how great elites are. I am destroying this guy. But see, this is a team that didn't stay together and don't really know how to play against Plaguebringer. As you see, the Hunter Ash just used his ability on me, which was a very bad decision. You pretty much never want to do that. And they're struggling to deal with an elite. Now, I'm going to show the build that I'm using right now in a sec, but basically this is just maxed out HP and maxed out balance bar. No other damage talents are maxed out. And I'm basically just doing heavy attack and second ability and alternating with the first ability every now and then. But basically your second ability is the better one. And as you can see, they're having a hard time. And after this, I'm gonna boss, and I wanted to also talk about boss and how overrated boss actually is. So when Plaguebringer first came out, boss was very powerful. People were like, oh, it's the strongest boss, myself included. Now look at how these guys handle boss. First of all, pot is out. They're attacking the pot instead of the boss. Mistake right there. Still attacking pot. It looks like this guy may have DC'd. But my point is, boss and elites can look very powerful against survivors that just don't know what to do. So, against a good team that knows what to do, you really don't get much value out of boss or elites. The most value you're going to get from damage is going to be from your basics using the spin. And that's where you should rely on for damage. And for the book, you only need basics and elite. So here's the build. The updated build that should win you every game, because it's also a book killing build, right? We've got the HP and balance bar for basics and elites because that's all you're going to be using on book. We're not going to use boss at all. Boss is not good. It is good against players that don't really know how to deal with it. Meaning they're not killing all the other units in time. There's like 20 things around with boss, so they struggle, right? A good team will easily wipe pretty much everything as they're coming out. And even if you summon a lot of stuff with boss, they will quickly dispatch of the basics and kill boss while dodging the 2 or 3 abilities you'll be able to use. And if you go down as boss, it's not good for the demon. That's a lot of time wasted, and by the time you're up, you're going to be the only evil unit on the map, and they'll easily focus you down on the map, you know, in the little area. They'll easily focus you down and dodge whatever you use. Maybe you'll get an attack or 2 off, but for the most part, boss doesn't really do much. So, and especially on book, does basically nothing. So you don't want boss. And what you do want is basics and elites and dash and pot. Important to max those out because with the max, you can use them twice each on the book. If you don't max them, you basically have 1 pot per book. But if you max it, you can use it at the start and at about 30 seconds. And we have all our Blight talents because while this does win you on book, you do want to obviously drain their resources throughout the game. And you're going to use basics and elites to do that, and boss of course, but Blight is going to be the most important because of course it's going to apply to everyone. You don't need these damage talents, any of these damage talents, because because the Blight is going to kind of carry your damage. What you're really going to do is use the abilities. The base damage is enough. The small increase is good against bad players and it'll seem like it's great, but a good team will not let you really it's really more about sacrificing these other talents. You want maximum health on your elites and basics, and you want this to kind of fuel you throughout the game. This is so huge to have. And you want this because they're going to be blighted, and dealing less damage, especially on book, is just going to let you use another attack or 2. They're going to be blighted, right? They're going to get spun on, they're going to get stomped on with the elite. Maybe they'll dodge, but they're going to get blighted throughout the game, and this is just huge. And obviously this allows you to do more spins. So this is basically going to be the build that should carry you as long as you're playing it right. So this is how you're supposed to play the book. So I have my basic and elite maxed out. Sometimes you won't be able to max out basic. Elite is more important to max out for the book, because that's what's going to be doing the most of your damage. Now, since the most updated patch, you can't attack the book until the timer starts. So this is why I'm waiting right here. I set down a trap basic, and then I'm just waiting for the timer a little bit. Drop pot. First thing is going to be elite. Start off with your heavy. I think the second attack missed there, but basically you just want to keep attacking. There are going to be mistakes, and I want to point out all the things I do wrong so you guys kind of understand of what a perfect book phase looks like. So that was pretty good, except I missed my first attack. Otherwise, this is the next step. You get a basic, use all your energy, and then after you use all your energy, you can either unpossess immediately, or if you attack like I did, sometimes you can get several hits and your energy goes up a lot more than if you were to just regenerate. So basic heavy attack hits twice with the elites. So always start with a basic heavy attack. You just basically do a lot more damage. And then it's just heavy attack, second ability, heavy attack, second ability. The first ability takes too long, and that's primarily the reason you don't use it. It just takes too long to come out. So you just keep using the other two. And then it's rinse and repeat. They finally killed the first book. You want elites out ASAP. And notice I haven't used my dash yet because they're kind of not dealing with things quickly enough that I still have my cooldowns. Against the better team, I'd probably not have had my cooldown, and I would have used my dash. It looks like it's on cooldown, so I did use it earlier, but as you can see, I had a lot of time to spare. Here's another one. Just maxed out elite. I was using basics throughout the game, so at the book phase, you definitely want elites to be maxed out. So again, same deal. I have a basic trap set up. I'm waiting for the timer to get close to begin timing down. Drop a pot away from the book, but still in range, so that, you know, one melee attack isn't hitting the book and the pot, right? You want to avoid that. Here, as you notice, I missed a few attacks. Against the better team, every single attack matters. So missing 2 or 3 attacks could be the difference between breaking the book and not, right? So you want to make sure every attack is focused on the book. Here, I use a heavy attack, get back a decent amount of energy, but I depossess pretty quickly after that. You don't want to stay on basics, because the energy regeneration you get when you're outside of possessing anything right now is just so fast. You might as well just get out and possess something else. And as you can see, these guys are already falling. Easy game once people are starting to fall. A good team of survivors won't have anybody falling. So you need to imagine these, even though it looks like these are going well, a better team is going to just kill things faster. But this is basically the ceiling as far as damage output. Scared to get your cooldowns faster. There I had an elite, so again, elites are definitely better to use. There I missed some spins, right? You want to optimize all these attacks, make sure you're not missing them. But very easy to win book. All these talents that we have for health and balance bar really carry it. The damage that you do for a vicious cycle, again, you can't rely on killing survivors. Good survivors just won't die. So the damage throughout the game, yeah, it's going to be impactful. But again, the reason I don't get 3 on vicious cycle is because the other talents are just, you don't want to replace them. So I end with Witch just for fun, but you get the idea. That's how it's done. And here's one more clip. This one is my favorite because I didn't attack them throughout the whole game. And I included the score screen after, so you can literally count the amount of possessed units I do, because I haven't possessed anything throughout the game until now. Just to kind of show that even at a lower level, right? I'm only level 18. Same kind of drill. That first basic that I have is a trap. You don't have to set it as a trap. You can manually throw it out as well. But same idea. They got 3 melees. They're all doing their best, but I have balance bar. Plus I have the pot. So balance bar is hard to get rid of. Same idea. You don't want to use boss. I dashed there, which was bad for 2 reasons. One, because I already had my elite up. You don't want to dash if you already have your elite portal up. And 2, obviously, because I missed. But yeah, you want to use the thing again. These guys are kind of killing things slowly, so it doesn't matter too much. And as you can see, like, Book's less than half health. I have more than half the time remaining. So this is looking like a W. And these are the talents that do it, man. I think Hash is still really good. Hunter Ash against Plaguebringer. But don't use your ability on bosses and elites. It's much better to use it on a basic that's just spawned, and then you just kill everything else. The argument that it's pointless to use your ability on a basic because they'll just possess another one, and then I just sped up here so you can see that. See that score screen. But yeah, if you just kill things, you don't have to worry about them going from one possession to another. It might sound easier said than done, but trust me, I go against a lot of teams that have no problem doing that. So, just need to be a little quicker in killing things, I think. But yeah, this is the build. I've been using it for a while now, haven't lost. It seems very solid, as long as you just play the book right. And as long as you play throughout the game and you keep pressure on them, it should work also. As far as what might need to be done in terms of updates, Boss just is so good at low levels that I think people might think she needs to be nerfed, but at higher levels she really doesn't get too much done. And overall I think Plaguebringer is fine. I think the elites being able to chain infinitely like that maybe can be tweaked. It's technically not infinitely because they'll run out of infernal energy, but if they keep hitting something on book, which they usually will, they can keep chaining that forever, which is a little frustrating maybe for Survivor. But yeah, this is the build. This is the updated build. Basics good, elites good. Damage overall not great, but you want to keep them buff for book. Alright, that's the video.